What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Leeds United Career Mode. We're into episode number 91 now, and in this episode we've got a few games for you, but just quickly I want to just touch upon how this series is going to come to an end, because of course I asked you guys to vote on the next series that's coming up on the channel, and we will be having the first episode of that new series out tomorrow on Christmas Day, so make sure you check back here on the channel after 4 o'clock time-ish, because I don't know what my upload schedule is going to be tomorrow on Christmas Day, because I am planning on getting three videos out tomorrow, so a triple upload day tomorrow on Christmas Day. So, check back on the channel, probably after about 4 o'clock-ish is when the first of the videos will be uploaded. And then, of course, they'll follow suit every hour after that, pretty much. But the way this is going to run then until we end this series off, I am going to play all of the Champions League games and all of the important games that I see fit. So that will be the Premier League games with the teams that are in around us. And of course, whichever teams are not near us, I will not be playing and will be simming the game. So hopefully you won't be too disappointed about that. But of course, with the new series starting tomorrow, I need to try and get this done very quickly. And of course, I want to get through this last season here at Leeds as quickly as possible within the next 10 episodes. Because I want to do a 100th episode special for you guys in which you'll have to vote on certain stuff as well. So that's still to come over the next 10 or so days. And of course, tomorrow at Christmas Day, we're having a triple upload day, hopefully, of the new series, the new career mode that's coming on the channel, and maybe a few other videos that I have in store for you guys. So hopefully, as well, you'll enjoy that on Christmas Day. It'll be a nice change, or it'll be a nice, way to end the day off. Of course, if you're with your family and friends during the day, then you can check back on the night time when there's not too much to watch on television, and you can come back here to my channel and check out a few new videos. But we started this episode off with a game against Zenit here, and 27 minutes in, we were on top from the first whistle. Eriksen testing the palms of the goalkeeper, came back into the area with a very nice cross into the path of James Rodriguez, and Rodriguez, not known for his heading ability, but he manages to get on the end of that cross there and put it into the back of the net to give us the lead here. And honestly, guys, this team at Leeds is just too good, and I knew for sure if we stayed here, I would get bored of this career mode so very quickly, because it's all good and well when you're winning stuff, but at the same time, when you've already got a team that's just too good and there's not many upgrades you can do, once you get to that point, it's sort of like, well, where do I go from here? You either move teams or you try and, keep bringing in new faces to the team and keep, swapping it about. But at the end of the day, once you've done that a few times, it gets to the point where you're thinking there's not too much else to do. And of course, we've won every trophy now here at Leeds, so we don't have too much to do in that front either. So when I set out the vote, it was either joining a new team or, of course, starting a new one, and you guys voted in your numbers for us to start a Road to Glory career mode. And at this current time, there is a second vote going on for the team that you want to see, and you're watching this at 4 o'clock. You have until 6 o'clock tonight to get those votes in for the team that you want to see. So go ahead over onto the video. I'll leave it in the link into the straw poll into the description, and you can go ahead and vote on the team that you want to see for the next career mode. But that will still be to come. And Eriksen here testing the palms of the keeper yet again, as we were in control throughout the entirety of this Champions League fixture. We managed to pick up a 1-0 victory as well, so that's very good to see in our first Champions League fixture of the campaign, looking to, defend our title, if you will. We managed to get off to the best start there with a 1-0 victory. So very happy with that one. And of course, when we were looking at this Leeds United team and saying what we're going to be doing at the end of this, I have a few awards for you to vote on, which will be coming some point during the next week. And I think those awards off the top of my head were the goal of the series, which I've at the moment got 7, but of course I'm still trying to look through the gameplay of what I've done past in this entire series and look for a few other goals. But if you have any goals that spring to mind as to what you remember from previous episodes that you think should make it into the goal of the series, or goal of the season, not goal of the series, goal of the series contenders, then let me know in the comment in the description. So you'll have that, you'll have the player of the series, the young player of the series, the signing of the series, the worst player of the series, and then probably like the game of the series. I don't know, I'll just think of some other awards to throw in there at the end. But ultimately, that vote will be out soon, and of course, it'll be you guys voting on everything that you want to see, and any votes will be counted and then given out to the correct players. So, of course, that is still to come. West Brom in a cup here. I'm not too interested. Like I said, we've won everything here at Leeds, so I'm going to be simming all the games that don't mean too much to me, and this is one of those, and I actually ended up losing this by 3 goals to 2 after I skipped this here. I think we ended up just getting absolutely, smashed there by West Brom. It wasn't a good team that I put out, in all honesty. It was a very weak side. Then we took on Bournemouth for the Premier League. I think we get a 1-1 draw out of this one. It's pretty much our strongest lineup there. So to go over to the Bournemouth and Vitality Stadium and only get a draw out of this one, I was a bit disappointed. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and we're still unbeaten in the Premier League. Grimaldo scores in the 55th minute there to give us the lead, and he is just a solid left-back. Grimaldo is easily my favourite left-back in this entire game. He is so good at left-back. And if he was at a decent league, if he wasn't at Benfica, I will be using him as my default left-back in Ultimate Team. But right now, actually, I've got Kurzawa, the Squad Builder Challenge one, at left-back. So that's not too bad either. So, there's some decent players coming out of the Squad Builder Challenges. And right as I'm recording this, Hector Bellerin is one of them as well. So, unfortunately, they can't get hold of him because he's way too much in price. But that's what it is. And we went into the second Champions League game of the campaign straight away in the same episode, because of course, as simming games we are going to be going through this season pretty damn quickly. And any suggestions you've got, leave them down in the comments below that you want to see as in the January transfer window. We will be looking to spend all 140 million of our transfer budget that we have here at Leeds before we end the series off. So let me know anybody you want me to sign. There's a couple of suggestions already been made, one of those being Neymar and the other one being Lindelof. So I'm looking at both those guys as well, trying to get them both into the club before we in fact end the series off. But we take on Rangers here, and it was surprising to see Rangers back in the Champions League, because if you remember what happened to them a few years ago, they got obviously relegated to certain divisions due to, I can't quite remember what the issue was, but they've managed to work their way back up in real life as well, and are now back into the Scottish Premier Division. But not only in this series, they are also now in the Champions League as well, so that's very, very good to see that Rangers have managed to get themselves back to an elite status over in Scotland, and I'm sure they're giving Celtic a run for their money. But they were really not going to test us all that much here in this one. I was thinking to myself going into it, if I lose this game, I am ultimately so bad, because this team, I shouldn't even have to play my best and still win this. You can see I've got Leno, Semedo, Rudiger, just pretty much our strongest, one of the strongest lineups we have here. Kante, Baker, Green, making up the midfield three with James Rodriguez just in front of him. I actually started playing Joel Green as a centre midfielder, as you all know, and he's actually playing pretty well in there. So I'm going to keep him at that role just for now. 92 overall, of course, and he probably will be shortlisted for Player of the Series. He hasn't really hit the heights in previous years, but I suppose when you've got a team like this at Leeds, we haven't really needed him to either. So the first season, he was absolutely quality, and in the other seasons that we've had since, apart from season 2, we haven't really needed his quality. In all honesty, we've had players that have come into the team and just done so well for us. But 17 minutes into this, I thought we would have the lead as Anwar struck us an effort against that bottom corner and post, and I couldn't quite believe it. I was like, I just don't want to even play this game anymore. But then we test the palms of the goalkeeper again with Bruce Baker. 32 minutes into it, a phenomenal save from the Rangers man between the sticks from the corner. We whip the corner in, and eventually, as it comes to Joel Green, whips a very dangerous ball in towards the head of Anwar El Ghazi. Doesn't win the header initially, but it comes back here to El Ghazi again. He's dispossessed, but then eventually Bailly finds it into Rodriguez, who turns, spins, and hits the strike goalwards, but a fantastic save yet again from the Rangers goalkeeper, keeps the score at 0-0. And I was going into the stroke of half-time thinking that I can't quite get the goal that I'm needing here, as Anwar goes close yet again by firing that one just wide of that bottom corner post. And then into the 57th minute, I was thinking, this is it. Rangers are going to go up the other end and score. A wonderful ball into the back post, and a very, very, very nice piece of skill there to beat my defender, and he just didn't quite catch the strike, and Leno was very happy to see that go so weak. But from that, we managed to counter-attack. I instantly threw the ball out, saw the run of Anthony Martial, who spins, gets a lot of luck the way the ball bounces back to him, feeds it into James Rodriguez, and I was thinking surely 1-0, but Rodriguez gets his strike all wrong and sends it high and wide of the bar. And I couldn't believe that within 62 minutes of this game, we've had this many chances and are not leading against Rangers here. I was so gutted. But 66 minutes in, we win a header at the back with Eric Bailly into, it might have been Rudiger actually, I can't remember, but it comes to Anthony Martial. I meant the pass for Lukaku. It goes through to James Rodriguez, and that is just absolutely quality. That is the reason why he is as high rated as he is, because at the end of the day, every single player I think on that pitch, barring maybe Anthony Martial and maybe Romelu Lukaku, would have probably missed this effort. And you have to see it from a different angle to understand how much quality he's got on the ball here, because he hits it with the outside of his boot and keeps it just inside of that post and into the top corner. What a wonderful strike from James Rodriguez to give us the lead here against Rangers. And again, that is just quality at its finest. But 84 minutes in, we had the chance to make it to Romelu Lukaku, using his strength, gets past the defender, he brings him down in the area, and that was all she wrote. So of course, the referee was going to give a penalty kick here, and I was thinking maybe a sending off, and it just wasn't. He ended up giving a yellow card, which I was a bit surprised about in honesty, because I was through on goal with Romelu Lukaku. But you have to look at it and you have to say to yourself, what on earth is the defender doing there? 87 minutes in, I know you're chasing the game, but to try and make a tackle like that is just so stupid. And Romelu Lukaku steps up, keeper guesses the right way, but a phenomenal penalty from the big Belgian makes it 2 into that top right corner. So 90 minutes pretty much on the clock, and we were winning the game 2-0. It hasn't been all plain sailing though for us, because as you can see, we've had numerous chances in this game, and it looked as if it was not going to be our day in front of goal. But in the end, we've come away with 2-0 victory, both goals coming at the hands of two very, I guess you could say, the first one was an extremely good strike, the second one was an extremely good run, and of course, it ends being 2-0. So we've managed to get another 3 points in our Champions League group as we look to go into the next, knockout phases of the Champions League, where we will hopefully manage to defend our title in this season. But We've still got one more game to come in the episode, and that will be at the hands of Liverpool. We travel over to the Merseyside club, who are actually doing extremely well right now in real life, as well as on this career mode. Jurgen Klopp, guys, I rate him very highly, and I can't quite believe that Liverpool are doing as well as they are, and managing to keep up with just watch them sometimes. And I have to say, for me, it's between them and Chelsea as to see who's got the best attack in terms of what's the most, pleasing to watch. Last season for me it was Leicester, but this season Chelsea and Liverpool have been my most favourite teams to watch in terms of attacking threat, because they're just so good going forward, both of them. They're just so good to watch. But we're taking them on here at home at Ellen Road, and I was looking to try and nullify that threat that Liverpool did have going forward, of course. We've got a very strong defence, but it's certainly our weakest point, I would say. I think our midfield and attack are just, absolute just quality, and I'd have to say they're probably the best in the world. But in terms of defence, they're not anywhere near our midfield and attack, in my opinion. We have some good defenders, and you can put it down as well to the fact that I'm not a great defender at FIFA, but at the same time, we've only got one high-rated defender in the form of Eric Bailly. Of course, our fullbacks are very high-rated as well in Pereira, El Semedo, and of course then Grimaldo on the left-hand side of that. But in terms of the centre-backs, unless we have Bailly in there, our highest rated after that is 83, and that's Lucas Hernandez, who hasn't really played all that much for this Leeds United team. So we haven't got too many, good quality centre-backs in terms of, high rating. But they're both, or we have about 4 centre-backs here who could get into Premier League clubs, but whether or not they would be the best in the world, as opposed to our attack and midfield, which in my opinion are, is yet to be seen. But 16 minutes into it, we gave the first chance in this one. It came to Lewis Baker, and I tried to do a driven shot, and it just was completely wrong from me. But Liverpool honestly had the best chance of this first half. As it came to Belotti down the left-hand side, gets past Hernandez, and this is why I haven't really played him. He's just not quite there as a central defender. As he walks past the striker there in Belotti, puts into the area where Lucas meets it, and I was absolutely gobsmacked that he put that one wide of the post. I was so surprised when that happened, and I was thinking surely 1-0 down. But Baker goes up the other end. Very poor in the end from Lewis Baker as he gets into position to take the strike on, but sends it into the side netting. So Liverpool with the best chance of the first half, but it was still 0-0 here. And a whipped ball comes in. Eventually it's not cleared by me, and it comes into the path of, I think it was actually Moreno in the area for Liverpool, but Lou makes a phenomenal save to keep the score at 0-0. There was one chance, or it might be another chance actually after this, but Joel Green gets into position and squares it into Eriksen in the dying few minutes of this game, and Eriksen takes the strike on, and a fantastic save from the Liverpool keeper keeps the score at 0-0. And there was one chance before the end of the game. It fell at the hands of Bakambu, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Sent his effort over the bar, and that was it for the referee. So a 0-0 draw here. So we managed to, pick up a few decent results in this episode, of course, with the sim games as well alongside it. You can see, though, by the match facts, Liverpool probably deserved more than the draw out of that one. So we were very lucky, in my opinion, to get the draw from that game. But we got the draw nonetheless. And, of course, that's going to wrap up this episode. I've explained how we're going to try and end this series off, and I've explained to you guys what's still to come over the Christmas period. And tomorrow, of course, there's going to be a triple upload on the channel. So check back here after 4 o'clock for your viewing pleasure to watch as many episodes as is uploaded. So, of course, I'll see you all for that tomorrow, and I'll catch you all with another video around 6 o'clock tonight. I've been Danny, and I'm out. Adios.